a small village nestled deep within the mountains, there was a tale that no one dared to recount after sunset. The story revolved around an old woman named Bibi Asghari, who lived on the outskirts of the village in a crumbling stone house. She was known for her peculiar habits and her ability to see things others could not. The villagers whispered that she communed with the spirits, but no one dared to confront her. When she passed away in her home one winter night, her death marked the beginning of strange occurrences in the village. Not long after her funeral, people began hearing faint whispers echoing through the night. It wasn't the wind or the rustling of leaves. It was something more sinister. The whispers carried names, sometimes of the villagers themselves, spoken with an eerie familiarity. At first, the villagers dismissed it as paranoia, a trick of the mind. But as the nights wore on, the whispers grew louder and closer, as if they were coming from inside their homes. One night, a young farmer named Riaz stayed out late to tend to his livestock. As he walked back to his house under the pale moonlight, he heard his name being called. The voice was soft and raspy, and it seemed to be coming from behind him. Turning around, he saw nothing but empty fields shrouded in mist. Dismissing it as exhaustion, he hurried home. But as he bolted his door, the whispers started again, this time coming from the dark corner of his room. Riaz swore he saw a shadow move, though there was no one else in the house. The next morning, Riaz told his neighbors what had happened. They listened, uneasy, but chalked it up to fatigue and overwork. However, over the next few days, others began to experience similar events. Pots would clatter in empty kitchens, doors would creak open on their own, and shadows seemed to slither across walls, always just out of sight. The whispers persisted, growing bolder with each passing night. Some claimed they saw a figure in the distance, an old woman in a tattered shawl, limping through the village and disappearing into the woods. The village elder, a man named Master Karim, decided to investigate. He gathered a small group of men and visited Bibi Asghari's abandoned house. As they entered the crumbling structure, a foul odor filled the air. Inside, they found a crude altar covered in melted candles and strange symbols carved into the stone. In the center of the altar lay a bundle wrapped in cloth, which Master Karim cautiously unwrapped. To their horror, it was filled with human teeth. Terrified, the men fled the house, but the whispers followed them. That night, Master Karim was found dead in his room, his face frozen in a look of unspeakable terror. The whispers grew louder in the days that followed, driving some villagers mad. Families began to leave the village in haste, abandoning their homes and livestock. To this day, the village remains empty, a desolate place where silence is broken only by the faint, haunting whispers of names. Names of those brave enough to step into its shadows. Those who have ventured there and returned say they saw Bibi Asghari's shadowy figure watching them from her house, her eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. No one dares to linger long enough to find out what she might say if you stayed to listen.